Hi, welcome to Take a Break, Take a Breath for Monday, April 12th. I'm Rick Boyer, the pastor of Prospect Church in Maplewood, New Jersey. And Take a Break, Take a Breath is an invitation for you to pause in your day, to breathe, to set aside all of the tasks and the worries and anxieties, and just center yourself in God who made you and loves you and calls you by name. I've been reading through the Gospel of Mark for our Take a Break times as a way to offer us some guided meditation and reflection and to center ourselves in the scriptures. We're reading today Mark 2:13 to 22. It is two controversy stories. And it's a series of four, and all four are challenges either to Jesus about the behavior of his disciples or to the disciples about things that Jesus is doing, and each one of them ends with a pronouncement from Jesus. In this case, the larger setting is the call of Matthew or Levi, the tax collector. And in Mark's gospel, we never hear of him again. He's not listed among the 12. He's just this story, and then that's it. But it sets a context for who Jesus eats with, because Levi invites him back to his house for a meal, and he invites his friends, who are other tax collectors and sinners, who were the worst of the worst, the true outcasts in that day for people in Judaism, and for people in particular in Israel as they dealt with the Roman Empire. So there's a real problem here in who he's eating with. And then Jesus is challenged about the fact that his disciples don't fast because John's disciples do. And Jesus ends that with a pronouncement. The pronouncement in the first one is Jesus comes for those who are sick and for those who need healing. He comes for sinners, not for the righteous. In the second one about fasting, he says you don't fast when the bridegroom is still at the party. And so those are his responses to these. In our focus time, I want to focus on the first of those pronouncements. It's in verse 17. When Jesus heard this, he said to them, "Those who are well have no need of a physician, but those who are sick. I have come to call not the righteous, but sinners." What's remarkable about this pronouncement is that Jesus used a healing story to talk about who we eat with, about relationships, and is suggesting here that reconciliation is a part of the work of the church and the work of those who are believers and trust in Christ. So if you haven't already done so, I invite you to go to a quiet place in your house and to close the door and to settle into a comfortable spot. And it may be a chair. I'm going to offer something slightly different today as well. If you're in a chair, feel the strength and comfort and support of that chair. It may be that you want to lay down and feel the support of whatever you choose to lay down on. It might be the floor, it might be a couch, it might be a bed. And begin to breathe deeply and close your eyes. And as you breathe in the breath of God. And as you breathe out all that separates you from God. As you breathe in the breath of life. And as you breathe out all that does not give you life. As you breathe in God's peace. And as you breathe out all of your worries and your fears and your anxieties. Continue to breathe deeply and imagine that the peace of God is coming to your whole body and that every muscle and cell in your body is relaxing and filled with the peace of God. Imagine it like water that runs down over your head, like a warm shower perhaps. And as it runs over your head, your mind relaxes and calms. And as it runs over your face, the muscles in your face relax and calm. And your jaw, if it's been tight, is loose. And as it runs down over your neck, the knots in your neck are untied and the muscles relax. As it runs down your shoulders and your arms, you can feel the peace and relaxation that comes to your shoulders and your arms and your hands. If they've been closed, they're opened. As it runs down over your chest, your breathing stays nice and deep and relaxed, and your heart rate slows to a calm and resting rate. As it runs down over your stomach, whatever nervousness is in your stomach is calmed and peaceful. As it runs down your back, the burdens of the day are released and the muscles are relaxed. As it runs down your legs, over your thighs and your calves and your feet, those muscles are renewed and refreshed. You are at peace, and every part of your body is immersed in the peace of God. In your mind's eye, imagine a dinner table. A dinner table with people who are all being reconciled to one another. What faces do you see? Jesus is at the head of the table as the host, the one who has come to restore us and renew us and refresh us. Jesus invites you to talk about your hurts and any relationships that aren't what you hope they would be, and relationships in the world that you are disappointed in, maybe between others that you know. And so you begin to talk, and I'll be quiet while you and Jesus talk and you hear his response to the things you are saying. And then the time for the conversation comes to end. And you and Jesus say goodbye in whatever way is appropriate. And you hear his promise that he has come to cure and to heal the relationships of our lives, to restore our relationship to him. And now you slowly let that image fade away, and you bring yourself back to the room where you are. When you're ready, open your eyes. That's Take a Break, Take a Breath for Monday, April 12th. If you have feedback for me or you want to talk or pray, send an email to rick@prospectchurch.org.